and welcome back. Thank you for watching another Providing Resources for Emergency Preparedness YouTube video. I am kneeling on the floor today because I want to talk to you about getting your house in order. A big part of family emergency preparedness is clearing the clutter. You want to create a stress-free environment because we all know that clutter creates stress. So I'm going to talk to you today about my family system that I recently put in place and how I managed to get all paper in my house down to these simple 7 bins, my coupon binder, and my personal planner. That's today's topic on this Providing Resources for Emergency Preparedness YouTube video, taming the paper clutter. So I managed to get all of my family's paper and my business paper down to these 7 bins. These first 3 bins are our personal items, our taxes, our personal items, and our manuals for all of our appliances and things we buy. These red bins and the orange bins are for my business. Prep is a new business, and I recently started it. And one of the things I learned in different various trainings is that when you start a new business, you definitely need to create a paper management system. Otherwise, the paper will overwhelm you, and I'll show you how I did it to tame the clutter. We're going to start talking about the bins and how I organize them and what's in them. And we're going to start with this first blue bin. Okay. As you can see here, it's arranged in alphabetical order. The first one says Anderson screen doors, and then the last one should say we. So it's A through Z. And this, for me, has been super helpful as we have a lot of manuals and we need to access them and they're orderly. So before I had a big folder where I just had all the manuals. They wasn't labeled, they wasn't organized, and every time I needed a manual, I would have to flip through the manuals. I find that this works much, much better to taming the paper clutter. And for example, we will be moving shortly. And one of the things I need to do is I need to have my washer and dryer disassembled, and it's a gas dryer and a washer. But before I do that, I want to perform the clean cycle on my washer. So what I would do is I was looking for that information is I would come in here and I would flip through in alphabetical order, and I would find my folder marked Manual LG Washer and Dryer. And in this folder you will see the hanging file folder. I have a folder and inside of it is all the materials related to my washer and dryer. So I would pull out the manual for the washer, find the clean cycle instructions, and conduct that clean cycle prior to my moving. Also in this type of folder was all of my installation instructions, which I kept, which will be very helpful when we set up our washer and dryer in our new home. My purchase information, the energy guide information that came with the manual that I wanted to keep, and I organized all of that very simply and easily in my manual folder. And when I'm done with it, I just put the stuff back in here, find my space for it in alphabetical order, place that back in here, and voila, it's all done. Another manual I'll use coming up when we get settled in our new place is I have a number of shelves for our basement to keep our food storage and emergency preparedness items on. I can find that easily in our basement shelves manual, shredder manuals, screen door manuals. Anything like that that we need is in this manual bin, and I find that to be the most easy method for organizing all of those manuals. So that is a great tip for you all. I'll go to the next bin. This next bin is a pink bin, and it's just our taxes. So every year you have to file your tax return, and I've organized them into pink folders. And as you can see here, the 2010 tax information. But I went ahead and I also made taxes to come. 2014, it's empty, but it's ready to receive any important personal tax information that my family may get. Retirement account information. I also made a moving receipts folder. As you know, my family is in the process of moving, and when you buy moving materials and other supplies, things related to your move, and you're moving for the purpose of employment, you definitely can take those off your taxes, and I am doing that. So I organize my files and my receipts, so when they come in the door, they don't have to wait for me to file them. I can place them in the folder right away and be done with that. My next bin, I'll bring this up to show you, and you'll see how easy they are to move around, is our personal items. So the blue is manual, the pink is taxes, and this is everything else related to our life. And like this big one here that's kind of sticking out, this is all of our mortgage information. Home insurance, definitely important to have. I'm not going to take it out because my address is on there, but this insurance information you definitely want to have. Car insurance has a folder. Life insurance. You definitely want to have those folders. Definitely last will and testament. You want a folder for that. So those type of things you definitely want to have a folder for. Your voter registration card. I'm not going to take that out. That has my address on it as well. But those type of things you definitely want to have orderly and neat. This is a great example. This is my birth certificate folder, but in here we also have our passports, and they're easily accessible. I can find them at the drop of a dime if we're taking a trip, and I just put those in here, and I know that we need to renew those coming up here shortly. So all of my life is down to these bins, and I really went through the process of looking at something and saying, is this worth paying to move? That was my reason for keeping it or getting rid of it, because it's very expensive to move cross country, and whatever you take, it has to be worth the value of going into that truck. And if you're only moving across town, ask yourself, is this really worth me taking and putting on a truck and moving to another house? Why continue the clutter at another home? It gives you an opportunity for a fresh start if you're moving, and if you're in your home and you're not moving, you still should go through with that same thought in mind. Is this worth keeping? Why do I need it? Will I use it again? And everything in here I will use again, and there will be some taxes that I'm able to shred because you really only need to keep them 7 years. So this is all I have for personal. So for my personal life, this is it. 3 bins. This is all I need. So next I'm going to talk to you about my business files. Now, like I said, PREP is a new business. I recently started a business on family emergency preparedness, and I started the business because it was something that I did every day. You know, PREP talks about coupons, basic baking, and family emergency preparedness, and it's something that I can relate to because it's something I do and love. And I've always been told that whatever you do in business, you should love it because it's easy to talk about and you will enjoy doing what you're doing every day. And I do enjoy family emergency preparedness planning. So I want to show you how I got my files in order for that. These first 2 bins, coupons. So not coupons per se, it's where to find coupons. Now I'm starting to develop coupon workshops where I'm going to give a 3-hour seminar on how to coupon shop. I'm very good at it. I've been using coupons since 1995 when my daughter was first born. And I have a lot of coupon skills and knowledge. But I'm not an extreme couponer, so I never want to be put in that category. I am a realistic couponer. So if you're looking to learn how to realistically coupon for your family size and your need, because there's always a sale. You really don't need 1,500 tubes of toothpaste, then maybe you will be interested in one of my workshops. But the 4 bins I have right here is for my business. And these 2 bins will be bins that I take to workshops with me. And as you see, the top of each folder says coupons and ads. And a lot of the questions that I get from people every day, even my families or friends, is where do I find coupons? And in my workshops, I will give and show examples of the various places you can find coupons. And I tell people all the time, there is a coupon for everything you buy. And people really don't believe me, so I try to show them that there are coupons for everything you buy, including your tools, your drapes, your food, your groceries, your dental, no matter what it is. If you're getting something done, there's a coupon for it, a discount code, some type of way where you can save money. So I use these 2 coupon bins to go with me to workshops, and that's all that's in here. Just where to find coupons and where those are at. So I keep this orderly and neat, and when I'm in my workshops in the future, I'll be able to pull those coupons out and show my coupon workshop attendees where they can find coupons. So that's all that's in here. So we'll move this to the side and I'll talk about those. So for my first 2 red bins, these were all related to business and they were for my coupons. The second 2 bins are what I call my working files. So I have in here some classification folders that these come out in sets on my desk. But when I finish working at night, I do store them back in this bin. And my first folder is a classification folder, it's basic baking. My shelf reliance folder, I am an independent shelf reliance consultant. And the other one is for Stedman Web Designs. That is a new business that I'll be starting here, starting in January 2012, where I will be offering web design services. And the last classification folder is for the prep website. And what I did is I purchased the classification folders. I took out my P-Touch label and I just labeled what they were. And I got that organized, and I find these very easy for my working folders. The rest of these are basically reference files. You'll see car preparedness, gas storage, financial preparedness, conference calling. These are what I use for my working files. So networking, pet preparedness, reference books, SEOs, things I want to reference and look back on for my business. So these are my working files, and as you can see, I have some blank ones up here in the front, so as I work on something, I can put them right here and right away and start my filing system. These next ones are just my shelf reliance brochures. This, as you see here, is marked with shelf reliance, favorite foods brochure. So in here I have my shelf reliance brochures. When I start doing home parties, after I get moved and settled, I'll start doing home parties, and I'll be able to take those, grab what I need for the party and take those with me. And as you can see, I have it staggered. These over here are my reference. These over here are my shelf reliance. And this section here is my actual disaster folders. It's biological, earthquake, extreme heat, explosions, fires, floods, hazardous materials, hurricanes, that type of stuff. So I got my general reference, I got my shelf reliance, and I got my disaster research that I do when I create articles and webinars for your needs. So I do a lot of research, and I find that information, and I put that in here for me to work with on a daily basis. So that is my other working file, and as you can see, I just have 4 simple bins for my business, and I keep them all in order like this. And then this last bin is my webinars. If you've looked at the prep website, you will see, and that scroll is I conduct 11 webinars. There's a webinar every week. And I use these yellow classification folders to keep my information for those webinars in order. Now, as you see, Action Task 1, make a plan. Action 3, Task 3, Task 11. And what I do is, I took my P-Touch label, labeled it Action Task 1, make a plan, and then in the inside here is my working file folders. And this is a copy of my presentation for the webinar and my notes as I go through and I talk through the webinar with you. And I find this very easy system for me to work with because I can come in here when it's time to do this Action Task webinar a couple days before. I grab it out, I review my information, I make the changes, I keep my research in the back, I clean that type of stuff up, and then I have this Action Task 1 folder here and I can grab that out right away. And then my canning, my stay informed, my how does your garden grow, got power. So I find that this system is very easy and very simple for me to keep my webinars organized, and all the research that I put into finding information for you to learn about your family emergency preparedness plan comes from these folders and my webinars. And then last but not least, because I don't have that much for business, like I said, I only have these 4, is business expenses or taxes. And I put those in orange for me. And as you can see, I have prep tax returns, 1099 and W-2s, advertising, bank charges, business use of home, charitable donations, contractors, cost of goods sold, education and business expenses, all the things that I would need for the Schedule C. That's how I arranged my tax file folders. And I also went in here and I created folders for Stedman Web Designs. Now, like I said, Stedman Web Designs will not be starting until January 2012. I'm taking some classes. I'm learning new things. You know, I'm good at designing websites, but I want to be great at designing websites before I start charging people to do their websites. So, I created folders for that. So, tax receipts, charitable contributions. So, as you can see, the prep tax folders are to this side, and the Stedman Web Design tax folders are to this side, and then that way I can keep them separated but still together. So that is my simple process for organizing my working file folders in these simple 4 bits. And I think that's really good for running the business, that's all I need to keep my house in order for my bins. And then I like using the bins as opposed to a file drawer is that I can pick the bins up and take them with me. If I want to work on the deck, I can take my laptop with me, take my bin with me, sit out on the deck on a great day, and still get some work done. So that is my business area. Next, we're going to talk about how I organize my personal day and information that comes in through the internet, through the emails, through the phone, through the voicemail, and show you how I keep my life organized that way. So next I want to show you how I manage my everyday life. I'm a busy mom. I homeschool. I'm starting 2 new businesses, Prep and Stedman Web Designs. Then I have my family life to deal with. So that's a lot going on. So I wanted to show you how I manage all that information that comes into our lives every day. Sometimes we are filled with information overload, and I want to show you how I manage to tame that and get it all in one place. So whatever I want to reference and whatever I'm doing, I go to one source for that information. So we get a lot of paper clutter in our lives. We get a lot of clutter via phone, via email, via our text messages. However it comes in, everything that comes into my life that's an action or a step that I need to do or something that I need to remember, it goes right here into my Cubby Planner. And I am a very proactive girl. I'm not very reactive at all because if I plan ahead, then I don't have to react to a lot of stressful situations. So I put all my information here in my Cubby Planner. And this is my 2012 Cubby Planner. We're still very well into 2011, but like I said, I'm a proactive girl, so I like to plan ahead. And one of the things I do is I I have my Cubby Planner, and every year I go through and I mark what I want to keep track of, what's important to me, what I want to do, birthdays, things like that, so I don't forget. And whatever task I have, I come in here, I label it on my Cubby Planner and what I need to be doing. For the holidays, I always have a plan and a checklist. I always have a plan and a checklist. And for example, for March 4th, I start planning for my Easter checklist, and I have all my things going down here that I need to plan for my family. The same thing with the 4th of July. I can come in here and I can easily flip to my Memorial Day checklist, things like that. So I keep myself in order by putting all the things I want to do on a checklist, and then I can schedule my day with that. This is my 4th of July checklist and you know, like I said, this is my Cubby Planner for 2011. I haven't even got 2012. We haven't even gotten there yet. So things like this, I plan ahead and I mark down what's important to me, and I schedule what matters most to me. And a lot of times people say, Lillian, how do you get all of that done? Your home is organized, you're running a business, you're homeschooling your daughter, you're running around town all day taking care of other people and helping yourself out as well. How do you manage to keep all that in order? And I tell them all the time, my Cubby Planner is my Bible and my baby. If it's not in here, do not expect to get it done. If you wanted to get it done for me and I don't write it in here, it's a 99% chance that I'm not going to do it. So I use my Cubby Planner, like I said, to plan my life, my future, what I'm working on, what I'm trying to get done. And this is my 2012. So even things like Thanksgiving and Halloween for next year, I've already got a plan in the works for that, because, you know, Thanksgiving, that doesn't change that often. And so you can see here October 2nd, I've made some changes that I'm going to put in here for 2012 based on this year's planning that I want to do, because in 2012 I want to have a bigger party, as I'm not having a big family gathering in 2011 because we'll be in the process of moving at that time. So things like that, and I have everything laid out, and that's how I organize the information that comes into my life through this Cubby Planner. And this one just holds the extra papers that I can use with my Cubby Planner. So my presentation planner, and I use this all the time when creating my workshops, because it gives me a guideline of how to set my workshops up. So these are basically blank forms that I use, my information record. When I call somebody and I have something ongoing, I know what I said when I said it, because I can keep track of that. And people are always like, oh, how do you remember that? Because I wrote it down. My weekly compass cards, I use those all the time. My document planner, and these all fit neatly. Expense envelopes, address books, check registers, things like this. All of this extra paper, and these blank pieces of paper fit right into my printer. I can create my own paper like you saw on the checklist, and these all fit right into my Cubby Planner, and that's how I organize my day. So whatever's going on, if I get an email, I can shrink that email down and put it right here on my Cubby Planner, print it out, insert it into the date where it needs to go, and I don't have to have all that extra paper clutter. So I don't have a lot of the 8.5 by 11 paper floating around, because if it doesn't go into one of my business action task folders, I can print it out and put it here in my Cubby Planner, and that's how I keep my life organized day to day. So my next area of organization of paper that comes into my house is I'm a couponer, and I love to use coupons because I feel like coupons is free money, and anything I can do to save money coming out of my pocket, I definitely use it. So my next area of organization is my coupon binder, and I'm not going to spend a lot of time on that because I'm going to do a separate video on how I organize my coupons into my binder. But as you can see here, I have a stack of coupons for newspapers. Every week I go to our local gas station and I purchase 8 newspapers for my family size, and I stack them up, and then I'm going to sort through them and place them in my coupon binder, and that's the other way I keep paper in my house. So I have my personal files here. I have my business files here. I have my coupon binder, and as you saw, my Cubby Planner. And that's how I keep the paper clutter tamed in my house. I hope this video has been helpful to you. I hope you learned some new tips and tricks to help you get your life in order, because like I said before, a big part of emergency preparedness is getting your house in order, taming your clutter, getting rid of the stress that comes with clutter. And when you get your house in order, you'll find your life starts to fall in order too, because once you can see in a clearer space in your home, you start to look at other areas of your life and you want to clean that up too. So thank you for watching another Providing Resources for Emergency Preparedness YouTube video. Find us on Facebook and give us a like. Follow us on Twitter at Prep Family, and we'll see you in the next video. Thanks for watching and have a blessed day.